Simmons struggled big time in the playoffs on offense and at the free throw line, and his Sixers were bounced in the second round. After the exit, Doc Rivers said they know what the, quote, right type of work is for Simmons. Okay, Chris is with us, but Acho, does Ben Simmons need to skip the Olympics?
He absolutely does. First off, Sal, you know I spent the last couple weekends engulfed in just Olympic Games. USA Olympic trials, I've been there. What it takes to make the Olympic team, I have been entrenched in watching athletes who have for 4 years worked to master their craft just to make it, and some to fall short of making the Olympic Games. Broussard, what that taught me is that for most of the Olympic teams, most of the Olympic sports, you have to qualify for the Olympic Games. But in basketball, to my knowledge, at least across several regions and several countries, you're just chosen. You don't necessarily have to qualify. You're just chosen to make the Olympic team. So it's almost a disgrace to Olympic teams had Ben Simmons gone to play in the Olympics, because other Olympic sports, you got to fight tooth and nail on that day to make it there to represent your country. But they would just be like, okay, Ben Simmons, you can go ahead. The bigger issue, however, is Ben Simmons, you have been mocked and laughed at and criticized at a local level. 215, Novacare Way, Broad Street, 215, that South Philadelphia region. They've mocked and criticized you because they know your style of play is limited. A little bit more on a macro level, some basketball fans. But if you go to the Olympics and you shoot 30% from the free throw line, the whole world gonna know about your issues. So it behooves Ben Simmons to keep his current struggles at least on a domestic level, as opposed to taking them internationally. Let's be real.
Look, I agree with you, Acho, but for different reasons. And when I first saw this news, I thought, man, he should go to the Olympics, right? Because I'm not so much concerned about his foul shooting. Obviously, he's got to improve that, but I think that's more mental. I'm looking at the jump shot. And I was saying, what better time to work on your jump shot than the Olympics? You have to shoot it in games, right? You can't just go and practice it in the gym and think you're going to be ready to shoot it in the arena. So what better stage to do that on than the Olympics? But then I thought about it and I said, well, the thing is this. Australia's trying to win, okay? And the best way for them to win is not to have you out there shooting 18-footers just to give it a try, right? Just to get over your individual phobias,
man.
right? It's not about, we're not there to just help Ben Simmons. We're there to win. And Ben is there to win. So Ben, if that's not the best shot for him to take that 18-footer, he's probably going to drive it and kick it or pass it or something like that. So I do think the best thing for him is to stay home, get in the gym. Now, this is a caveat. He does have to put in the work. If you just stay home and you kicking it, and we start seeing all these photos of you out hanging out and not in the gym, then that's a problem. But if you put in the work, get in the gym, get on the couch, because I do think he needs to see a sports psychologist, then it can benefit you for next season, and this would be the right move.
Yeah, I think he needs to skip the Olympics as well. Let me just give him his itinerary for the summer. Just like I'm going through this process right now, and it's a daunting process, man. All these damn kids I got planning out their summer. I don't know when I'm gonna get some free time to hang out with Acho. Never. I don't know when I'm gonna ever see Chris Broussard. Never. Because I gotta do the school's transition program, basketball camp shake, shout out to them, GB soccer skills camp, AYSO, taekwondo, baseball. When am I gonna be able to watch my Clippers win this championship? So here's your itinerary if you're Ben Simmons. You ever heard of Chris Brickley? Yeah, you have. Everybody on Instagram has seen that dude and his skills at camp, whatever the hell. Him and KD always out there getting a run, and all the top stars are there working on their game and learning their skills. I need you, Ben Simmons, to not only give Chris Brickley one tuition, but pay twice to bunk bed with KD. And that's your summer. Get them skills up at the Chris Brickley Skills Camp. And then you can't be playing in the Olympics, and you ain't even playing for USA. You can't be playing for Australia. People, put it like this. Go to Australia, go out there and play, throw up them bricks, and then try to come back to Philadelphia and see how they gonna receive yourself. It's not gonna be pretty. Plus, the people out there too nice and too happy to have Ben Simmons on the team. He's so happy. You know what that's gonna do? Enable them, pacify them. They don't care if you're throwing up bricks or not. They got a superstar on their team. They'll try to cover them up. So guess what you need to do? You need to take yourself to New York,
Find KD game, even if it's an opening round. So, high key, I like your answer better than my own, and the deviation of your answer. I think now that if he is going to take the practice mantra, maybe he should take it that step further, Broussard, and should play based upon the logic of the practice he does right now, wherever he does it in an open gym by himself, is not actually going to truly translate to playing in a real game situation.
Well, look, it's true that he can't, mimic being in a real game situation, but he can play with pros. I mean, I know a lot of the Instagram videos I see of him hitting the jumpers. I'm like, who in the world is he playing with? There's some little high school kids or some of his boys that he played with in junior high. Go up to UCLA or wherever you want to go, where the NBA players are balling, right? Yeah. And then work on your jump shot. Now, granted, it won't be 20,000 fans watching, but you still can work on your J. They still will talk about you, call you out. Yeah, man, there you go. Go ahead and shoot it. They're going to be talking trash. So at least you get that simulation, and then you can work on that. And here's the thing, Marcellus, man, if KD's smart, he ain't trying to help Ben Simmons.
Why?
Shoot, Ben Simmons better stay away from KD. Because if I'm KD, I'm telling Ben Simmons the opposite of what he needs. I ain't trying to see Ben Simmons hitting jumpers next year with Joel Embiid. I'm trying to win the East, man. Shoot.
I feel you, but that's not how it works, man. In rich mind culture, and you talked about he needs to see a sports psychologist. I say every single player needs to see a sports psychologist because they can tune up whatever you think you got going on in this machine up here. But being real, Chris, you got to help people, man, no matter how it hurts you, because guess what? It's still going to help you in the end game. I used to race everybody. Put Acho on the screen because I got to talk about track. I'm the national record holder and national champion in track. And it's so funny that when I had to race people, I would hear some of the guys and gals like, oh, man, Marcellus ain't going to beat him. And, oh, Marcellus ain't going to whip him. He already outmatched. And I would be like, look, I want the best. So sometimes I would false start. We ain't counting that. Sometimes they false start. We ain't counting that. Sometimes, oh, man, my leg hurt. We'll race when you're ready. I want the best out of you, to beat the best out of you, to realize I'm still the best. KD ain't sweating this dude, shooting 34%, please. Coming up, Cam Newton has a very unique way, you shouldn't say very unique, who wrote this? Way of dealing with haters. We have a lot to say about this, and that's next on Speak for Yourself.